Okay, guys, welcome back. Algebra 3 and Trig. Today we're going into section 2.3, and it's titled Decomposition of Functions. You most likely hit this in Algebra 2, so we're going to refresh it right now. Now, a composite function is a function whose input is the output of another function, meaning the one function goes into another. That's kind of the short way of putting it, the non-formal way. So here in the table, the composition function f of g, is the composition of f and g, is defined as the following here. You can see it can be written in two different ways. And what this is saying is that function g is actually being input into the x for function f. So composition, again, can be written in two ways. This circle here, it's a small circle. Please don't confuse that with a multiplication dot. And again, the way we would read it is f of g of x. So this is the case where x is in the domain of g and g of x is in the domain of f. A little confusing there. I'll help you through it though. Now I'm going to break up, again, this is section 2.3. I am going to break this up into 2 days, or 2 parts here. So let's take a look at example 1. Given that f of x is 2x minus 5 and g of x is the trinomial showing, find each of the following. So we got 4 separate problems here, A, B, C, and D. I want you to notice something. Notice that A and B have an x after f of g and g of f. They have an x. We're going to save that for part 2. What we're going to focus in part 1 are problems C and D, where instead of x, they have a number there, such as the number 7. So here's what we got to do. So in a letter C, it reads f of g of 7. What we're going to do is take g of 7 first. See, there's a lot of confusion here with a lot of people think you got to do the f first, but it's actually the second letter first. So we're going to take that 7 and plug it into the x's for the g function up at the top. So we got 7 squared minus 3 times 7 plus 8. And we're going to use the order of operations here. So exponent. Then we're going to multiply to get minus 21. And then we're going to, 49 minus 21 is 28. And 28 plus 8 is 36. Now, let me explain what this 36 is. This 36 is not the answer to the problem. The 36 will now be my input into function f. So we're going to now do f of 36. That means you're going to go look at function f at the top left of the screen here. And 36 is going to go in for this x up here. So it's 2 times 36, then minus 5. So that'll be 2 times 36, 72. Minus 5 is 67. So the answer to the problem is 67. Again, 36 is not a solution. It's not an answer to this problem. It is the output of function g that becomes the new input in for function f. And that's what function composition is. Now take a look at D. This one says g of f of 7. Now, though this may at first glance look like the same problem, it's not, because the order is going to be different first. We're going to do f of 7 first, get that result, and then plug it into g. So f of 7 So function f is 2x minus 5. So that'll be 2 times 7 minus 5. So 2 times 7 is 14. 14 minus 5 is 9. Now, that 9, now I'm going to use that as the input into function g. So I now write g of 9. Again, the output of f was 9, which becomes the new input for g. So g is the trinomial at the top. I'm going to plug 9 in for the x's up here. And now I'm going to use order of operations. Exponent 9 squared is 81. Then multiply to get minus 27. 81 minus 27, 54. And then add 8. So our answer is 62. All right, we got one more down. So we'll move on. Like I said, A and B, I'll save this for part 2. So let's look at the next page. Example 2, I have 2 brand new functions. I got a new function f and a new function g. And in A, B, C, D, I need to use functions f and g. But again, A and B, I'm going to save those for part 2 because those have the x's in them. I'm going to focus on C and D. C has a 9, D with the 16. So which letter would I start with for letter C? It says f of g of 9. Which function do I start with, f or g? You should be thinking g. So you're going to start with g of 9. So g is x minus 3, so that'll be 9 minus 3 is 6. Next, what do? Now we take that 6 and we're going to plug it in for function f. So f of 6, function f at the top of the screen is square root of x. So that would be square root of 6. Now, we are dealing with a square root, but the square root cannot be simplified and stay in radical form. So that's actually my answer. We do not want decimals here. We would keep it in simplified radical form, square root of 6. Okay, letter D, g of f of 16. Which function would I do first, g or f? In this problem, you should be doing f first. So f of 16. The f at the top of the screen is square root of x. So that'll be square root of 16. And we know that's 4. Now what am I going to do with that 4? So you should be thinking, I'm going to take that 4, and now it's going to go in for function g. So g of 4. Function g at the top of the screen is x minus 3. So that'll be 4 minus 3 is 1. And there's the solution to the problem, 1. Okay, guys, that was part 1 of section 2-3. What I just prepared you to do, if you take a look at assignment 2.3, you should now be able to do these 6 problems. Notice it says 1 through 8, but it's actually 1, 2, 3, 5, 7, 8. Don't worry about the missing 4 and 6. All right, guys, have a great day and get your work done.